I just pulled the last zucchini out of my garden and I'm going to make some zucchini bread out of it. This is a recipe that I got from a woman named Edna who was amazing. The woman could cook. So the first thing that I have to do is shred up my zucchini. You have two different options when it comes to making the zucchini bread. You can do 4 cups of shredded fresh zucchini, or you can do 4 cups of frozen zucchini. The only thing is you'll need to wait until it thaws entirely, and I highly recommend thawing it inside a bowl, because at least in my freezer, when the bag is in there, it tends to get bumped around a bit, and a lot of times we'll get holes in it even though you don't realize it. So any of the juice will go in here. And that's the other thing. You need to make sure that if there's any liquid as this thaws, which there probably will be, that you add all the liquid as well as the solid zucchini parts to it, because all of that was a part of the zucchini at one point. If you want to learn how to do the frozen zucchini, go ahead and take a look at my video. So I'll start with the 4 cups of zucchini, and then I'll add in 4 eggs, 4 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 1/4 cups of oil, and 2 1/2 cups of white sugar. I'll then mix all the wet ingredients together. Once that's mixed nicely, I add 3 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt, 1/2 a teaspoon of baking powder, and then I mix shallowly so that it mixes those dry ingredients on the very top before going in deeper and mixing it into those wet ingredients. You could do this in a separate bowl, but I've found this is very successful for me. As soon as I get that mixed nice and well, I'll add in 1 cup of coarsely chopped walnuts. This is an optional step, but one that I really like. Sometimes I'll put the walnuts on the very top of the loaf and it gives them kind of this roasted taste. I really like it. The next step is to grease the loaf pans. I found it's best to go right up to the edge when you're greasing the pan, because you never know exactly how high they're gonna rise. I'll then pour in the batter, equal amounts in each loaf. Sometimes I like to put these in muffin tins instead. And that's kind of fun because it's a single serving, even the mini muffin tins. And they actually freeze pretty well. And then the kids can just pull them out as they want snacks. Although I have to make a pretty big batch if I want it to last for in the freezer. And put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 50 minutes. In order to see if it's done, I usually just kind of tap it in the center. If you see that, it kind of has a little wave, a little jiggle to it. So that indicates that there's still dough there. So it's not quite done. It's looking good, but not there yet. Now you see it just springs right back to the touch. This one, still a little soft. So I'll let that one keep going, which makes sense because it's a little bit bigger. And I'll pull this one out. The loaf's been out for about 10 minutes, so now I can go ahead and pull it out of the pan. Hopefully it comes out easily. Sometimes it's difficult with these sweet loaves. While the loaf's hot, sometimes it's a little hard to get a good cut out of it, but a nice sharp knife can make a big difference. And it tastes so good like this. Some nice thick pieces. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna go for this one because it has so much of the walnuts in it. That's my favorite. Good slathering of fresh butter on here. Actually, this is some butter that I churned up with the kids yesterday. I just got in my new butter churn and I thought it would be really fun to give it a shot. Oh, it's hot. I love the walnuts. It's super good. It has this nice crispy crust that's super sweet. And then where you hit the walnuts, oh, super good, especially the ones that are near the surface because those give you kind of that roasted walnut taste. Then you can taste the cinnamon and with the butter on there. Oh, it's super good. I really hope that you guys try this one because it tastes so good. I got this recipe like, oh my goodness, how many years ago now? More than 20 years ago. And I use it all the time. I totally love it. I hope you do too.